We're 100 days from the election now, less than. I have a hard time believing the Wayfair thing based on the Russia. Mostly anything dealing with Russia, I have a hard time to believe.
You fill 1,700 pages, and maybe you'll want to write more of them. I mean, everything we're talking about, you could have a page and a half.
And maybe they'd read more of them too.
Yeah.
Because the long form discussion is taking over these news segments, are taking over these spoon-fed, pre-packaged media sound bites that we get every day.
Media. Yep.
Do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media.
Of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things they are true without checking facts first.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan. This is episode 52 of The Weekly Show. And if it's episode 52 of a weekly show, there's 52 weeks in a year.
We made it.
It's 1 year of The Weekly Show. Decemberversary.
Decemberversary.
This is great. You can catch all of The Weekly Show on YouTube and of course now on Rumble as well. Rumble is YouTube with free speech. So go join us over at Rumble, like, comment, and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel. It's good watch. Like I said, we got pretty frequent content. We've been going a year and no plans on stopping. So, if you need a good weekly show, we're the ones for you. 1 year, Ryan.
1 year. It's pretty crazy.
1 year for the weekly show of a non-planned show.
Non-planned show, still not planned, and we hobble along. This is like watching three-legged race with one leg. It works. We make it. My point is, we make it work. Goddamn, that's what it started.
What Ryan says. It's a very good show.
I love I trash talk our own program and try to sell it as it's good. That's something wrong with me, man.
Listen, we're the comedy show that gives you more news than CNN, which leads us to our first headline. Headlines. Comedian Bill Burr ruthlessly unloads on fucking morons at CNN, fucking treasonous, un-American pieces of shit, in the most Bill Burr way possible of ripping on CNN.
Guy's a gift. It was on his podcast, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It was, and the headline specifically says CNN, but really it was all cable news outlets. It was CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them.
Yeah, I saw some quotes that were taken out of the context of his podcast and talked about how since there's no Trump, Biden's such a bore that they basically they almost wish Trump was back so that they could get their ratings back and make all the money and the ad revenue and everything else. And independently, I've also heard that comedians are saying free speech is kind of dead in the art of comedy. I'm sure we've had various things on our program, but it's been going on slowly for a while, and good for Bill Burr slinging dick like he always has, man. He's one of the rare that really. I mean, he expressively talks politics. He explicitly talks about controversial issues too, but more so than a guy like Rogan or Rogan doesn't. He jokes about politics, but Bill Burr really makes stances on things. I mean, he lit up.
I was gonna say Bill Burr seems weirdly uncancelable because he still does a stand-up. He still has F is for Family on Netflix. Nobody's canceled him there. He's on The Mandalorian. No one cares what he says because I think it's because he's very upfront and he says, "Listen, I'm not going to apologize. I don't even bother."
Well, how do you kill a legend, dude? You can't cancel a legend. The guy is fucking hilarious. He's seriously
he's probably one of my top 5 all time. I think he's that good.
Dude, I cry every time I listen to him.
He's
genuinely funny. Most of the stuff he says, conversationally is funny. Like, but like I said, it's like educated on top of it. Like he's not dumb, you know.
Yeah.
And especially being on his own program, he probably does pretty well for himself on that. Let alone all the other stuff he has. I mean, you can't cancel a guy that's at some level he's got a degree of independence to him.
Speaking of canceling people, can't cancel a legend, but the lowly workers at theme parks get canceled pretty easily, apparently. Headlines. Families sue after theme park characters flash white supremacist signs in pictures. The actor was being groomed from Despicable Me, and apparently he flashed some white supremacy symbols.
What was the symbol?
They didn't show it in the article. They didn't show the picture specifically. I'm assuming it was one of these.
So
hopefully, let's be clear, YouTube. I'm not a white supremacist flashing the white supremacist symbol. I'm just explaining that this is the symbol I think he might have flashed.
It is absolutely ludicrous that on top of just saying that an image is offensive, they can't even show the image.
Yeah.
This is like almost by proxy. This is like take it a step further. They glorify mass shooters, especially if they're white males or kids, and they'll put their picture everywhere. But a picture of a white supremacy sign they don't show. They show swastikas and the N-word all over the place too. This probably was nothing. This is like the noose found in the NASCAR garage.
Yeah. So they're suing the theme park. The theme park fired the actor. I don't know. I mean, this is just it's craziness. It's craziness.
My question is when are we gonna read stories that Disney character fights back after getting fired? You know, he's gonna like go down to that woman's house and beat the bricks off her. You know, I mean, like, I'm serious. At some point, people are not gonna just keep taking this shit.
People are not gonna keep going into work, as you say.
We're not gonna take it.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, people are just gonna take it to some extent. I mean, I don't know. It's just madness. Speaking of people just taking it, headlines. LA residents are torn as mask mandate retakes effect.
What are they torn about? You guys been getting lied to the whole time.
Well, much like Erie County, the county where Buffalo, New York is located, a lot of California is very, very red.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's just unfortunately, you know, as it always goes, the city is, you know, the cities in the state itself are extremely blue, which means the whole state's blue, which means it's run by a moron like Gavin Newsom. I don't remember what his name is. That it? He's an idiot.
I don't know what we do. You know, like how do you... Because the compromise was the freaking Electoral College. And that seems to have problems with it now, especially lately with the news that came out later this week. But yeah, this isn't surprising. I mean, you know, once again, the guy locally here sued and won. I mean, it's got to be the next step some of these places take, because it's not gonna happen, man. People are not. I mean, I'm seeing things about the Delta variant, and there's pockets of unvaccinated people getting the virus and everything else. It's like, dude, people. Honestly,
yeah.
I don't think people care about COVID anymore.
I saw that the CDC is warning that the pandemic is causing another rise in cases. The unvaccinated.
A fourth wave, the unvaccinated COVID strand. It's the unvaccinated people that manipulated the virus. You know, like the real question, the fourth wave, what's next? You know, like all these things. It's got more waves than feminism at this point. And then it's on top of it. Do we know if the thing was human fucked with or not?
Well,
because we're not getting clear answers, but we're going to have a fourth wave and lock everything down and make mask man. Why not we talk about this maybe being a Chinese fucking war engine? Do you remember back in the day when we were scared after 9/11 to open our mailbox because of anthrax powder, getting scared? They were scanning everybody's mail with bomb-sniffing dogs. They had to train dogs to smell for chemicals.
So yeah, speaking of them going through our mail, now the mail is electronic and all the information is electronic. Headlines. Facebook engineer was abusing access to user data to track down a woman who had left their hotel room after they fought on vacation. That's how, just so we're all clear, that's how much data Facebook has. I don't know if people.
I thought the data's not important, Dave.
Well, it's not important.
I thought they said the data they collect's not that important. They can't do anything with it. Remember, it's just all your data. It's mass metadata. We can't even filter through it. You're like, oh, that's weird. You can't make systems that filter through all the data. Yeah, I mean, Verizon. I've known people that have worked at Verizon, and they had to sign a waiver that said that they would not use company resources to like spy on your boyfriend or husband or like go through their emails or their phone calls, because it's happened before in the company. You know, like somebody not that I know, but one of their coworkers was fired because they used it to go, you know, they found their boyfriend cheating basically, and they used it. He ended up calling them and saying, yo, they went through my shit. They're not allowed to do it. She got fired. You know, they broke up. But the moral of the story is, yeah, this data, man, like, this is what I mean, like, about the rights of the future that we don't even know. We got, if somebody, some random, you know, Facebook employee can track down the person that left the hotel after breaking up. Is that right? Am I getting that? Yeah. So they broke up at a hotel, and he was trying to track her down to try to get another action slice in. You know, if that guy could do that, like just a guy on a computer at Facebook, what can Zuckerberg do? You know, like what can they really influence? And it goes a step further because they're talking with the White House now to combat misinformation. The White House used the terms that Jen Pulaski, Palazzo, whatever her Pizzacki, whatever. Oh, I'll have this job a couple of years. Yeah, you're not getting ass raped by questions every day. Yeah, they're working with the White House to combat misinformation, and also Facebook's trying to fight back against the government here because I have it pulled up here. Facebook issues harsh response to Biden's accusation that the platform is killing people. In private exchange, the Surgeon General has praised our work, including our efforts to inform people about COVID-19, restrict information. They knew what they were doing. The White House is looking for scapegoats for missing their vaccine goals, a spokesperson told. So at the same time, they want to work with the government to be able to control information. They say they're an open platform. But they act as a publisher. We've proved it 100 times. It was just a couple of weeks ago, a clear example. So while they're working with the government and want to have this free and autonomy to say whatever, then they get praised. They say that they get praised by the very government that they worked with to restrict information to its people, taking things off websites, having your Chinese communist filters on everything that say the word COVID or talk about COVID. There's your little COVID vaccines at the bottom and everything, pushing vaccines through everything else and pushing other things like. At the same time, you're going to try to fight back against the government while you're working with the government. How is this not the largest conflict of interest in human history? I mean, how seriously? If this is a public, it's so crazy we call it social media, right? Like it's owned by all. We all use it, right? This is their next thing to make a human right as social media. Oh, they couldn't do that, then they wouldn't be able to ban Trump. Oh, that's weird how those things go together, man. But yeah, so. They're restricting information and then fight back against the government, saying that the government's saying they're doing a bad job and calling out Biden's administration for not meeting their goals. Like, how is this not a conflict of interest? If this was a local business lobbying your fucking elected official to allow him to sign off on some environmental deal, for example, to allow him to build a factory there when he wasn't supposed to, you know what I mean? That'd be the same conflict of interest. Basically, except this way they actually control information. Yeah. They not only they control the information by being the quote the gatekeepers of the information. And the information they're getting is from already a corrupt bureaucratic system that we obviously have seen that Washington does not have our best interests at heart, and it's obviously political gridlock when they have fucking straight partisan divides against almost every bill that isn't something to spend trillions of fucking dollars so that they all can get whatever they're buying. This is ridiculous. Then Facebook's going to work with the government. We're going to combat to fight misinformation, but then you're getting called out by the government for killing people. They all kill people. The governor killed people. Andrew Cuomo killed people with his policies, and he's just going to go down there. Oh, we're going to have a forum about sexual assault. I'm glad that's what we're focusing on when he murdered people. He directly murdered people. Him, Kathy Hochul, all the people locally that voted for all that shit, they all, and then, you know, by proxy, the news is they are the saboteurs. They are also accessories to murder because they help cover up. How is it not helping cover up Cuomo's crimes or the government's crimes that they bury information in news feeds? Well, go even a step further. They are accessories to grandparential murder. Demicide or something it's called, like when the government kills people.
So I mean, this is perfect segue into our next one, because this was, for me personally, I think this was probably the biggest news coming out of the week. But Facebook was fighting. I mean, they were front of the line fighting against misinformation. Them and YouTube, of course. When it came to the election fraud, you couldn't even say election fraud or talk about election fraud or even admit that there was election fraud or think that maybe there was election fraud or even say fraud and election in the same video.
And you can't say there's fraud, but in 2016 we're told that Russians with $10,000 of Facebook ads shut down the whole fucking country and made Donald Trump win the election. The same people say you can't steal elections with social media, say the Russians stole social media. We're using social media so elections don't get stuck. I thought that was impossible. Barack Obama laughed about the election being able to be stolen. Most secure election ever in 2016. Oh, I forgot. People didn't pay attention before Trump. That's why the guy got the second most votes ever. Fucking ridiculous. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Headlines. Trump celebrates, quote, beyond incredible news from Georgia. The hand recount was wrong by 60%. What was that? What did you just do there? What? Yeah, I don't.
Excellent.
I don't. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, it means okay.
They fire people at theme parks for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I can't wait till the theme park employees fight back and fire Disney.
60%, Ryan. Some would say that's.
It almost sounds like you could sway a fucking district with 60%.
Wait, what were we doing weeks ago? What's 60%? 6 out of 10 apples.
6 out of 10 apples.
That's how many were wrong.
Apples! It's almost all of them! It's 60% of the apples!
More than half of the apples.
Dude, I mean, Jesus Christ, if you were to go to the casino and be like, dude, you have a 6 in 10 chance of winning, you're playing those odds.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, so it's not unstealable. Well, we just hand counted and fucked them up. Only 60% of them. That's not that big.
And that's in one state.
And this is after they spoke about COVID numbers all year. Didn't tell you the percentage of death rate to the fucking case numbers. They implode you with all these numbers, and then they can lie to you about the election results. No, I'm not supposed to say that, right? Because they're combating misinformation.
So, 60%. What we're not allowed to insinuate is that the fact that the media constantly berated people with COVID numbers and cases and blamed the president for it on the news, as all great journalists would do, and then what we're seeing is these voting numbers were clearly way off, 60%. But we can't insinuate that changed or had any effect on the election.
Yeah, I'm sure, there was only
we can't insinuate that 60% has an effect on the election. 60.
This is just one state that there was issues, right? It's not like Arizona had trouble or Wisconsin had trouble or Georgia had trouble or
okay, just some of the swing states. Just a couple swing states.
Dude, they stole the election, bro.
What?
Satire.
Satire. He's joking. He would never believe that.
They stole the election.
He would never say such a thing seriously.
60% of the fucking hand vote. Could you imagine, bro? Like, LeBron James only makes 60% of his shots of all time. Like, wow, that guy really sucks.
So, go follow us on Rumble, because Ryan just got a shutdown.
What else did you call it, though? Like, for real. Okay, you didn't steal the election. You just, heavily influenced to a level that 60% of the hand vote was off. And not only that, but you use social media and the mainstream media and the whole Democratic Party to rally the whole country that voted for the guy against the other half of the country. That's not influencing it at all. We watched a whole cities burn on every coast in America, and almost every state there was a fucking problem. We defunded police and watched crime rates skyrocket while you shut down my local business and kill people's grandparents from a virus that, quite frankly, looks like it was manipulated. But then you use the media and social media to stop and combat that misinformation. And then on top of it, you're going to tell me that, oh, no, we didn't steal the election, but it looks like you stole my business and you stole my grandparents' life and you stole my chance for economic opportunity. You stole people's education. You stole people's livelihoods. People's relationships fell apart. Their businesses fell. Our whole society's crumbled, like locally. Some communities will never recover in rural areas so that you can drive into cities and buy up their land at pennies on the dollar. But 60% of the hand vote is fine. That's fucking fine.
Yeah, yeah. All of what you just said is correct. But just this didn't have any effect on the election.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just 60%. I wonder if that 60% could sway the other. Yeah, you didn't steal it, but you heavily influenced so much that you were able to get away with all of this shit because it was a mass bombardment of your theft of your life. This is crazy. This is literally when I told people 10 years ago that the government will fuck you over the chance they get. They literally fucked you over. They fucked everybody over. And then they grew. The government's the largest it's ever been. And then I'm told more government is the fucking solution. I saw a number from the United States Labor Board that said the second largest growth sector was the government.
No, I can't imagine such a thing.
The Broad locally here has made like literally over $100,000 in overtime under the pandemic in the last year. I wonder who pays her salary. Oh, taxes. Be like, well, our tax revenues don't going down because everybody's moving. Oh, we'll just raise taxes on the wealthy. Oh, like the business owner that I work for? This is ridiculous. They didn't steal the election. They heavily influenced it to a point that you could probably almost measure it. And we do measure it. We measure it every week here.
We did measure it. It was, in this particular case, it was 60% in Georgia.
6 out of 10 apples. Just in one state. There's still Wisconsin. There's problems in Arizona right now. Pennsylvania.
Michigan was weird, too.
Michigan! Crowder, Steven Crowder, you know, the guy that might just get permabanned with 5 million fucking views, but I'm told that the same company that has lobbied against him is going to work with the White House, just like they worked and they targeted fucking right-winger groups under Barack Obama. Do you remember that?
Sure that won't have any negative effects.
Yeah, same thing. Shut down Steven Crowder, 6 million views, and that company's going to work within the fucking parameters. Was there going to be is social media the next cabinet appointee by the president? Oh, social media czar. We just appoint a social media overlord. So what, now the government's involved in social media and to regulate the information? It's not even your information. It's my information. I put it on there socially. It's a billboard, right? It's a fucking post-it board. It's basically you drive around your house and around your neighborhood, you see a fucking board. You just post something on there with a thumbtack. That's the idea of Facebook. Now it's got to be government regulated to combat misinformation. It's not your job to combat misinformation in the private sector. These same people permaban people talking about it. We've proved it every fucking week. We measure it. Steven Crowder, back to my whole thing before I went on a tangent. He multiple times went to Michigan in particular because he's from there or lives by there or something crazy or whatever it was. Some connection in Michigan in him. And he went to these houses and it was a fucking parking lot. A parking lot. He didn't say that they stole the election. He just said,
there was Michigan and I think he did Nevada too.
Oh, that's right. There's a whole nother state. Dude, that's in 9 states. Oh, no, 9 states. 9 states out of 50. For those doing math at home, that's almost a tenth of the states. No, there's no fucking election fraud. Yeah, I'm sorry, a fifth. I undersold it there. I didn't want to spread misinformation. Fact check me on that one, you fucking social media cocksuckers. I say people aren't going to keep going to work tomorrow. I hope I'm right, because this is ridiculous. These same people, they heavily influenced your election.
So I do welcome anyone watching from Cuba. This is what you're getting into. You're probably better off in Cuba. But we're going to start floating our doors over that way.
Did you see Pitbull came out, defended him? He's like, dude, I don't know what the problem is. He's like, this is a fucking freedom thing. Get on board. These people are leaving for freedom. All over the world, people are flying the American flag when they fight oppressive government, but I'm told we're the fascists. They were singing USA, USA in Jerusalem, and fucking Jerusalem under Donald Trump. Now we're having wars, right? The wars never ended. Moving goalposts. This is ridiculous. I cannot wait for the midterms. But then again, maybe the midterms will be rife with election fraud, interference, and non-government.
Well, not fraud, but they might just be 60% off.
Like 60% off. How do... 65 is passing in fucking high school. Like, come on. 65. You know how I know? Because I got 65s, people.
Hey, I might have you beat. I had like a 64.5 before, and it rounded up.
Thank you, No Child Left Behind, George Bush. We're just gonna socialize education. Wonder why people...
To be fair, it was some bullshit class. It was some like computer whatever class, which I could have done well in, but didn't want to. So I passed. Statistically, mathematically, passed in the way I planned.
The kid barely passed a computer class on a computer, talking the whole world on computers.
No, I can do computers. The class was like a solid half hour off of school, basically.
Yeah, we all know what this is. Einstein's talked about this. Education, I don't quite know, but public education is like telling a fish, a giraffe, a monkey, and an elephant to all climb a tree, you know? And then
yeah, I don't remember the exact quote, but I know what you're talking about. That's the general spirit of the quote.
Yeah, we're all different fucking animals sitting in a little chair. Oh, you gotta sit still. Oh, I don't know. Boys just were... You tell me thousands of years ago that we were killing animals at 10 years old with my dad, and I'm told to sit still in a chair. Oh, he's got ADHD. You gotta give him Ritalin. Oh, I wonder if you stole his childhood like you did the election, you cocksuckers. I used to be docile, now listen. Yeah, you're 60% wrong there, you assholes.
It's getting very difficult.
I wonder when Big Pharma's gonna call up Facebook and combat misinformation with them, or maybe some fucking Coca-Cola company. We're gonna combat misinformation on the sugar crisis, or the nicotine addiction in America, or alcoholism, or gambling, or car accidents, and all these other terrible things that plague humanity. Misinformation. No, it doesn't. The government's not important. It doesn't matter. We're gonna combat misinformation with the thing that everybody uses. Sorry, I'm stuck on this. It really bothered me to see that shit this week. And then I'm hearing 60% of the hand vote is wrong in one state. And then in Arizona, there's discrepancies that it looks like ballots were duplicated or recounted.
Oh, I can't believe this.
I thought we had a fucking robot to do that. Oh, yeah, your thing's counted. It's fine. Lying. Oh, you didn't steal.
Ryan, it was counted. Just some were counted 2 or 3 times.
But
we had Kevin on the show to talk about this. There was specific, what was it, like calculations in some of these devices that would count some votes as like 1.25 for every one vote of the other. It was a weird thing. But how do you know this? Well, some of the calculations had decimals. How does 0.4 of a person vote?
Democracy, Dave. Maybe those are all
pregnant. Every 0.4 vote counts.
Pregnant ladies and dead people vote and counts as a fifth of a vote at a time. I wonder if Republican votes counted less. There were some areas, at least in Arizona, the numbers I saw, 100% went to Joe Biden in one district. Everybody voted for the guy.
Absolutely.
And very particular, but it was kind of super close in the middle of the city, but on the outskirts of suburbia, it was just straight a blue wall. A blue wall. Yeah, it was red when I went to bed. What are you insinuating? It was theft? I believe I can't murder.
You can't insinuate such a thing.
If there was 10 homicides in a 10-block radius over a 10-month time span, and they all fit the same description, if it looks like voter fraud and smells like voter fraud. Ben Shapiro even came out and said, things in Arizona. That guy was outspoken, said it's a conspiracy, it's dumb, and all this other shit. And then here it is, talking about it.
Well, to be fair to Ben Shapiro, he's a very waits for the facts kind of guy.
Yeah,
everything's a conspiracy until it's a fact.
I have zero problems with these guys, but you got to pick a damn side, man. That's what's so crucial about Crowder. The guy is like willing to die on his convictions, and he's been right before. Like before it happens, like Alex.
Well, it's no secret they're coming for him. That's why. But yeah, so
shut him down.
Yeah, all of that sounds like it was a good week for news, but a bad week for news at the same time. Were you able to be entertained at all with all this negativity going on in your life? Do you have more negativity before your entertainment?
No. Well.
You do, don't you? You do.
I did look. Two things. Two things, and then I'll get into my Decembertainment. The Patriot phone is supposed to be coming out. I don't know anything about it, but
the Patriot phone.
Yeah, Candace Owens was the first person I seen talking about. Some company is basically an Android device. I don't know if it doesn't track you or you can't ban things, but I bring it up because it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last because the internet, Verizon, your fucking Wi-Fi provider is gonna cut your cable. I can have any phone I want, but if I can't connect to the internet, what the fuck good does it do?
Brian, when have you ever seen anything like this happen before? Yeah, Parler.
Parler, and they cut the Cubans this week when they were trying to flee for fucking freedom. They were cutting the internet feeds to people's. There was one woman arrested in her house on public television. She was in the middle of an interview. She said, "Yeah, I gotta go. The police are outside," and she never came back. In Cuba.
Yep. I'm just trying to think here. When was the last time a Democrat had a Cuban arrested in their house? Oh, Bill Clinton. That's right. He arrested a 9-year-old in their house and sent him back. Listen, I'm all for stable borders. That's even farther than I would go. Publicly arresting a 9-year-old.
This woman's in Cuba trying to give on-the-ground information. They took her to jail and they were cutting people's cell phone feeds. My Patriot phone can be anything I want. The thing could connect to a fucking satellite. But you know what? The satellite's not pro-Patriot. Verizon, Spectrum, they all work for the government. The government paid for their cell phone towers. And you know what? They're plugged right in. Your phone plugs into Spectrum, which plugs into the government. Patriot phone's not going to fucking matter. That's why you got to speak your shit. YouTube, sit you down, make another YouTube channel. Make 7 TikToks. You can't, we're not going to beat them at the consumer level. They have everything built around us. If they can influence the election by 70% off, they're going to influence your ability to influence other people. That's why it's so important you talk in public. History, politics, and religion. In public. On platforms as well. But the public is really important, which I'll get to that point. And then one more piece of news. Did you see the Tom Brady news?
What Tom Brady news?
All right, everybody normally hates Tom Brady, right, because he's so good.
I've come to accept him.
Yeah, so did I. When he won his 5th ring, I was like, all right, I'm a Tom Brady fan now. I never hated him because he was good. I just hated because he whooped the Bills' ass. So now I always defend him that people are hating greatness. So came out this week that Tom Brady played most of last year injured. Like a MCL or something, which I don't know what any of that is.
In your knee.
Yes. Yeah. Just your knee at 40.
It's not like you need legs as a quarterback.
And he won the Super Bowl? Like, holy fuck, this guy's the greatest thing ever.
He's in his 40s, injured, and he still won.
And won everything. He won everything. Dude won everything. He beat everybody. He beat like all the great quarterbacks in 1 year, and then just like on a bad knee. Come on, bro. I only bring it up because the guy's super awesome. He's also going to Biden's White House, but he didn't go to Trump's White House when he won the last Super Bowl. But the Buccaneers may get in trouble legally from it because apparently it's like an NFL policy, and Tom Brady and whoever else may have to get suspended for a couple games. So that could shake things up in football, which is going to be firing up soon. But Tom Brady, he's going to Super Bowl again. Guy's too fucking good. All right. Decembertainment. 2 things.
Yes.
Dave, you ever seen the movie Gladiator?
Yes.
Phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to watch it recently, and I did. God.
Wait, is that like the first time you saw it?
No, I've seen Gladiator about 4 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Russell Crowe right here. Russell Crowe won Academy Award for that, directed by Ridley Scott, who was one of my favorite directors, if people actually give a shit about that. But the guy's incredible. He done many other movies, Kingdom of Heaven. He was the alien guy, Blade Runner. He's a very famous director, has a great eye, knows exactly how to tell a good story. If nobody's seen Gladiator, you should go watch it. But most importantly, just look at what the fuck happens in the movie. This guy sucks the government's dick, becomes a general, he was a farmer, he's told he's got a war, he's the best warrior for the government, and you know what happens? They fucking take everything away from him because the government built his whole life. Now, I know this is about the downfall of Rome and like the Germanic tribes and stuff, but we are the modern Rome people. We're one generation away from losing the things we have. And as we get older, I realize the younger there's in the last 30 years, I am nearly 30 years old. I will say the big events that shaped the 21st century is the end of the Cold War, 9/11, and the coronavirus. So like those three events are like that's how I look at the last 30 years of history. And we're within that gap of COVID and 9/11 and how the world changed. Like I brought up earlier, they scanned our mail for anthrax. They haven't stopped that practice actually, from my understanding. But they look at the mail. I'm sure it's built into their machines at this level. It's probably just some technology they developed to make it. I'm sure they catch people with cocaine and stuff in the mail. And my point is you're just one generation away from losing the very foundation. Rome was the greatest civilization at that time. It literally crafted the world. Nobody fucked with Rome. Nobody messed with Caesar. Caesar slaughtered the Gauls. And, we're just one generation away from losing everything. And these stories are so telling because, as my buddy Mike says, that all these people are, like, whether it's our founding fathers or other people, King Leonidas during the time of 300 movie or whatever these historical figures are, it's like the people just knew that they had a time and place in history and they had to make a stand for what they believed. And thank God we're reaping the benefits of all those people's sacrifices. But those movies, that's why I think I enjoy it, is the historical values and stuff. I know they're like, it's fantasy still, but it's, it's influence, maybe up to 60%. About real things, like these directors, they look up, they make everything like they did back in the day. It all looks. I've always enjoyed that of filmmaking, and I get lost in these worlds. But man, it's the same story we live now. To even go further, Peterson. I watched a lot of Peterson this week. He's got a great YouTube channel about the Bible, and he breaks down book by book, and he just really shows the complexity to the art of storytelling and why it's so important that we tell good stories. And we remember great stories like the Bible, stories like, some of these other fantasy stories that we love. Harry Potter, for example, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. I mean, they literally have biblical stories just retold, So Peterson, but he compares Pinocchio's one that Peterson always uses too, because, there's literally a whale story that a guy gets swallowed and spit back on land and everything. But the point is, dude, you got to tell good stories, and it's super important. My other Decembertainment this week. I went out again. I've been sucking beer in the local bars, identifying as vaccinated all over your counter. And I'm having a great time. Been going out with a friend of mine. We've been getting close. But I bring it up because the last few times I've gone out, I always have a cool bar story when I get back. And this night was no different. But it makes me wonder if it's me or these other people.
It's you.
I know.
Without hearing the whole story or any of the story, it's you.
It's a problem that I'm a little bit obnoxious and I enjoy it. I get lost in the fun of it. I'm a good sport. I try to be a good sport. My point. So this lady actually bumped into me, David, and I just made general conversation with her. Okay.
General conversation or specific history, politics, religion conversation?
It was men and women, actually.
Oh no, not.
This is why I got
not misogyny pro guy podcast.
Oh my god, dude. Oh. All right. I had a lot to drink. Okay. I'm just gonna bring up one part about the conversation. Because it's so telling. This is telling. I could go. You all right?
I can only imagine what even happened here. Well, okay, you said lady. Let's generally describe her. Give me a good.
Well, she was married and not there with her husband, so that's a telling sign. To me, it's misogynist. She was highly unattractive because she was overweight. She had red hair, and I guess she was a teacher, but she was actually a social worker. So I asked her where her husband.
I meant like generally like in her 30s, 40s.
Oh no, she was like.
She went with married and not with the husband, unattractive because of overweight. This is why everyone needs to subscribe and be ready for Ryan's Pro Guy Misogyny podcast. You probably are going to want to watch that on Rumble, not on YouTube.
We probably talked for 15 minutes, but it was just like, I gotta get these people on camera because I pissed her off so much.
Ryan, start taking your GoPro to the bar.
Oh my god, that's fucking brilliant, bro. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna unpack anything crazy. The thing I thought was funny is we're always told, especially about women, love your curves, you're beautiful and unique and special. You're gonna change the world. Boss girl. Women can fluff each other up all they want. They're the greatest thing ever. They're Helen of Troy that can launch 10,000 ships across the Aegean Sea and destroy all of humanity. They think that they hold so much power because they got the thing between their legs walking around. Doesn't matter. The average woman.
I'm good. Okay. Yeah.
The average woman thinks she just doesn't. Her shit don't stink. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not here to change other people. I'm confident in myself. I'm super awesome too. The problem I have is I looked at this broad and I told her that you will never meet another man like me. I am 1 in a trillion. And you know how I know that? Because I know that. I know who I am. I have whatever. I'm not going to talk about myself. And this bitch had the audacity to look at me and tell me I'm not special. Could you imagine if I said that to her? Could you imagine? I'd be a piece of shit. I'd probably get thrown out the bar. This woman can insult me as a man. Say, yeah, she doesn't know my accomplishments. She doesn't know what I've been through. She doesn't know where I came. But she wants to tell me her life story. She wants me to invest in her time. I told her I don't care about this. I told her I don't care. I really don't care about that. Why are you talking all the time? Because you have a vagina? I'm supposed to listen to you? Like, oh, chivalry's dead. Oh, what? I'm waiting at the bar and you should go before me because you have a certain part. I thought gender was a social construct. Now it's important. These women can pick and choose boundaries. They can pick and choose the way they feel about certain things. I'm not tolerating it. My Decembertainment is not only do I lay into these women, I know I'm going to be highly undesirable to most women. I don't care about dating you. I'm not trying to date anybody. I'm not trying to date this terrible woman at the bar. I asked her too. I was like, your husband's probably highly agreeable. And she's like, no. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, there's a reason you're at the bar and he's not. Fucking dumb bitch. Like, are you kidding me? You're not special. I'm 1 in a trillion. You're not special. Could you imagine? Could I imagine if I were to knock a woman down a peg? I come in here, I look good, I smell good, I got my hair done, I just took a shower, fucking freshly shaven. I feel super good. I'm with my friend, having an awesome time. You're not special. Yeah, I am. I'm 1 in a trillion. I thought everybody... Isn't that what they tell everybody? Get out of here. Man, women... Look, I love women. I grew up with sisters and a mother. I have a daughter. I want you all to succeed. But you gotta know where you stand. Men can identify who's more attractive, who makes more money, who's more smarter. Men know this. We're humble enough. Even if we are scared to admit and have self-insecurity, be like, nah, that guy could kick my ass. Because he's fucking 6'3", 300 pounds and jacked. You see 2 women, you're like, you're both beautiful. No, you're not. You're not both beautiful. We're encouraging obesity for women, but men is plus size plus size model for women, but men is fucking overweight. Dad bod, it's a thing. Dad bod. Oh, look at your dad titties. That's fine. Can't say it look like you got a. Dude, this is ludicrous. This is fucking ludicrous. Men built the world you walk on, the world you occupy, and every single thing that's important gets done by a guy. Everything. Men run the electrical companies. We put electrical in. We plumb. Not saying women can't do it. I'm just saying who does it and who did it. Women don't want to work in piles of shit. Bet you if you were to go survey, once again, go on Instagram, bet you if you were to survey 100 women, they'd probably say, I'm not going to be a plumber. I'd rather be a hairdresser. That's that social construct. Guys are just like, you know what? Whatever. I need a job and want to make money. The less people that want to do the job, I make more money because I'm worth more because less people do. We look at things in an analytical perspective. Women just have their emotions tied in everything. I'm not going to tolerate from some big broad at the bar that thinks that I'm not special. When I know I'm a special guy, I'm hardworking. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about myself. But, dude, like, come on. So, point of the story is she had to walk away from me because she got upset. And I realized that she got...
We're good. I'm good.
She got tied up in adjectives. And the thing, you ever been told, oh, it's not what you said, it's the way you said it? She was tied up on certain adjectives that described, you called me dumb. I was like, well, the thing you said is dumb. You're not dumb. You know, like, and then I got to preface this. And then we're in the minutia of, like, trying to separate. You're not paying attention to what's important here. Love your cars, girl. No, we got dad bods. We advertise. Everybody wants to sleep with Jason Momoa. Not everybody wants to sleep with Lizzo, but I'm toxically masculine. This is shit.
Lizzo's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when Adele lost all that weight? People were like, oh my God, she's not as good of a singer anymore because she's not fat. Like, man, why are we encouraging unhealthy behavior?
I can't, this Lizzo thing, I'm glad that was over after, what, 1 song, 2 songs?
She's gonna be a Victoria's Secret girl, remember?
I wish she needs to go. All right, go back to music. It's fine. I'll just turn the channel.
Walk by
I'd rather my ears bleed than my eyes.
Yeah, man. I mean, Victoria's Secret's gonna be selling underwear bigger than the t-shirts I wear, and I'm told that's sexy. Man, get the fuck out of here. You women are delusional. Whatever.
This is what the DNA test turns out. I'm 100%. Listen, the only thing she's 100% is BMI. 100%. She's 100% going to eat everything on her plate. She's 100% going to lose a limb to diabetes.
100% going to die prematurely. Now I'm going to get called out for women hate. Yeah, I am hating the big broads. You're not. I don't want to sleep with you. I will, but I don't want to. Like, come on. Like, come on. What are we actually talking about here? Everybody wants to sleep with Jason Momoa. Nobody fucks the fat guy on the block. That's fine. That's being a guy. The silent suffering of men is completely fine with women. Wonder why guys kill themselves at higher rates than females. I don't know. That's fucking awfully odd. Man's world and all. Yeah, we're trying to keep the lights on. We're told it's not good enough. Sorry. Oh, I know you were at work all day busting your knuckles on cars, but I was blowing the neighbor.
Well, 2 different kinds of busting knuckles.
Yeah, this is why. That's why I need to have my own guy podcast.
On that note, as entertaining as that was, Ryan, hopefully we'll have the Misogyny Pro Guy podcast. At some point, we'll see when it comes. It'll come naturally.
It just keeps rolling, man. Like, I'm having these conversations, I'm hitting on girls, and, like, it's just, I'm noticing things.
The Misogyny Pro Guy podcast coming to December 1773. We'll see when. Catch it on Rumble or YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
And comment on this video. I mean, I showed Ryan, like, commenting is so important. It's so obvious. When we have a lot of comments on videos, the videos have a lot more views. It's the simple nature of things. So just comment. Comment whatever. It doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't care what you comment. You can comment literally anything. You can just smash the keyboard, all the letters. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
As long as they see comments, it just bumps it up and algorithms. You know, it's science.
If 6 out of 10 apples were to comment on this video, you know, we would be able to control the narrative a little better.
Yes. Yeah, 6 out of 10 apples. If 10 apples watch, I want 6 apples comment. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
it'd be nice.
10 apples. But...
Nothing's 100%. But till then, Dave and Ryan, December 1773. Looking forward to the premiere tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on Mondays.
That was strong.
Yeah. This is our Decemberversary. I just want to say real quick footnote here. It's been an awesome year. This was really cool and fun. Obviously, Dave and I, we enjoy this. This isn't like, I don't get stressed out for nothing. But, I've told you guys, the more I realize that I put this out there and I've bumped into a couple police officers and I know I speak for the people that can't speak and all that, dude. Like, I speak for both of us. We appreciate it. You know, it's cool, man. It's real cool. I'm glad that we've been going a year strong. Looking forward to the next year of content. And you can like, comment, subscribe to December 1773 on Rumble, YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, until then, I'll see everybody next week. And thanks for watching.
See ya. Thanks, everybody.
Go, guys.